Hi, this is ronMctube. We're playing the Hunter on PC, and today we're taking a look at the brand new reserve Piccabeen Bay. We've got new species: water buffalo, rooster deer, samba deer, banteng. We've got new clothing. What I'm wearing now, it's a sneaky 3D tropical forest camo clothing. We've got a new game mechanic. There's lots of things that's brand new, so let's check out the reserve, see what we can find. Hopefully we can bag some of the species along the way. Weapons, we're going to be using the 340 cannon. This knocks down the big boys, so hopefully when we see some water buffalo or banteng, that's going to do the job. We've got the trusty old 300 for the rooster deer and samba deer. I've also got snakebite bow, so we'll try and get some bow shots on something as well if they're pretty close. There's also a rooster deer grunt caller been added in store. It's supposed to be quite sneaky. Need extra skill and patience. They plan to add urine sprays for the samba and rooster deer in the not too distant future. I will discuss some of the other things that's new as we hunt. We've just got a call from a rooster deer, so there's our first animal on this reserve. So let's give it a call with a new caller. Get the 300 ready because that's ethical for the deer. Right in front of me, quite close. See if we can see it. I've got to say straight off the bat that the artists who made this map have really gone to town on it. I was expecting it just to be like Primal, and a few people have said that as well. I've seen it, oh, it looks like Primal, but when you come on here, I've got this at 4K at the minute. It looks absolutely stunning. There's stuff in here that isn't in Primal, so you can't just say they've copied that and just plonked it on here. This is very nice. So where's the rooster deer? It looks like a small male. Come on, trusty 300. And he's down. Good old 300. Never lets you down. One of the best rifles in the game. While we're up here, let's take a look around. The trees and the plants, the detail they put into them, the butterflies, really does look nice. This game's not new either, is it? It's nearly 10 years old now, so when you see this kind of detail and how well it looks, look at this plant, it is really good. So 10 out of 10 to the artist, well done, great research, how you've applied it, looks absolutely stunning, very impressed. While we're taking a walk to the rooster deer we're down, let's have a look or talk about the new warm weather mechanic. Now because it's so hot on here, the heat will take effect in long hunts. So your screen edges will start to blur, your aim will be not very steady. In order to combat this, they've introduced a new water bottle item. You'll receive 3 of these for 3, and they replenish automatically at the beginning of each session. Now what you do is you take a drink to stave off the effects from the heat. When it starts to affect you, like in real life, you slowly recover when standing still, and you overheat faster when you're running about, so try not to be running everywhere. Now that's quite game changer for me because I don't know if you know this, but I run a lot of the time, so that's quite a big thing for me. That's why they've got the sneaky 3D tropical forest camo, one for the camo aspect, but also the material helps against the heat. Now here's our first rooster male deer, 141. I don't know how big they go, but I'm happy to get my first animal on here. We'll take a trophy shot, and then we'll move on, see what else we can discover. I'm also happy to announce that in this new map they've added running water. Now to some of them they'll be like, oh, running water, so what, is water on? But to many, a few years ago they was messing about trying to get running water working. Didn't quite pull it off, but they've done the research and the bits and bobs. But on this map they've got it working, so every time something new comes to the game, I really applaud that. I really, you know what I mean, I'm really happy about that. I've been playing it 9 years, so every little addition that makes the game a little bit better, I'm really happy with that. You're still progressing and you're not stagnating, so that's good. Moving forward with it, that's brilliant. I can't wait to see that in action because like I say, it's been around for a few years trying to get it right, and it looks like they've probably cracked it on this map, so hopefully we can find some running water, rivers, streams, just to see what it looks like. Right, we're moving down to this river down the hill. Hoping to spot a water buffalo or a banteng. I don't know where they are exactly. The banteng looks like a right bruiser, and I must say That when I seen the images on the forums and the status report, that is the first one I wanted to get. So I'm hoping to get a Banteng. That's why we've got the 340 rifle with us, to knock down those bigger animals, the water buffalo and the Banteng. What's that down there? Spot something near the water? We haven't had one of those, so that's definitely going to be shot in a minute. Looks like a water buffalo. Quite a way away. Just watch it. I don't know if they travel in herds or on their own. Looks like it's going left, so just keep an eye on it. I've got the big scope on it, so it's not hard to shoot it from here. And the 340 is a cannon, as any of you do know. Shoot it with that, it's going down. That's one thing you don't want to mess up. Make sure the guns you're going to come and use on here are ethical for the species you're hunting. Very important. You don't want to see a trophy animal and shoot it with the wrong gun. Nothing worse. So just check in the store if your gun is suitable for the animals you're hunting before you come on in. I'm just going to wait for it to stop and then shoot it. Here we go. And that's dead. Perfect shot. Right, let's run over and collect it. So our second species down. I don't know what the males look like or the females, so it could be either. I really don't know. I've not done too much research or watched too many streams or videos on this, because I wanted to be surprised when I come on here, so it's nice and fresh. Get my own perspective. I've read a couple of status reports, but I've just stayed away from the media a little bit. So I really don't know too much about the reserve. But that's good. It's nice and fresh. You don't know what to expect. You don't know where to expect it. Let's take a look at this track. Yeah, it's the footprints of the water buffalo. Here it is. I don't know what any of the scores are either. So we could have big ones or small ones. Look, you can see the udders on it. Udders like a cow. It's great they've added that. Sort of like a half moon horns. See what it scores. It's a female in the lungs. So I don't know if that's a big one or a small one. I'll take a nice trophy shot. I love that position. Hey Ron, what'd you do that for? Looking at me. He doesn't seem impressed. But great stance. For the hooves. Nice little bit of detail there. So second animal down. Two species got. Where's that Banteng? That's what I want. So I've spotted another water buffalo. It thinks it's getting away. The 340 is going to disagree with that. Texas heart shot style. Down it goes. We're in like a bay now. We're moving up to, there's a bridge I'm trying to get to. It's marked on the map. Whether we get there in this video, I don't know. This is going to be the first part of looking at Piccabeen Bay. We're going to go over all the species on here, trying to discover new items. What a trophy shot. So mad. Run! Look at it. That's a gruesome face. Such an angry water buffalo. But a great pose. Something they've also added to this map is thunder and lightning. Now, I've been over this before in a couple of other videos, but about 7 or 8 years ago I made a video on how thunder and lightning could work in the game. It was a very poor attempt, I should say, at just trying to show it, but I think sometimes if you actually show it your idea moving, do you know what I mean, it gives a better idea of what you want than just a still picture. So I added some bird noises in it and the cracks of the lightning and things like that. It's on my old channel, but it's actually in the game now, so I look forward to hearing that and seeing that in action. I did have that in Primal, so I don't know if they've used the exact same from that and put it in here, but I can't wait to see that, because like I say, I've wanted that for a long time. I do like rain and storms and things like that. Obviously you don't like it if it's really serious, but I do like the actual natural beauty and the sounds and stuff when it does happen in nature. So it'd be great to see that in action over here. We're on our travels. What's going to be the next animal we come across? The species you get on this map are water buffalo, rooster deer, samba deer, banteng. You also get feral hogs as well. Don't know where they're at. Got a rooster deer calling, so we'll give that a quick call on the new caller. It's supposed to be quite sneaky. I'd like to take one with a bow if I can. If we get the right opportunity, the right land, I will take one with a bow. How have you been finding Piccabeen Bay? What have been your favourite moments? What you've found up to yet since trying it out? Have you had any big animals? Any rares? I don't know what rares there is on here. Drop them in the comments. What is your favourite thing about the reserve? Have you been doing some normal hunting or fishing? Drop that in. I like to hear what you're doing, what you got planned for Christmas, any special parties, family gatherings. I think I'll be eating lots of mince pies and plenty of beer. That looks like a stream. Can't see the rooster there, but that looks like a stream running down the hillside. Take a look at that in a minute. Let's first try and locate this rooster deer. It's quite a dense location as well, so this reserve is going to take a lot of planning and hunting, quite a lot of time compared to other reserves, because it's quite dense, a lot of vegetation. So you're going to have to put quite a bit of work into finding out where the best areas are, putting your tents down to get your hot spots. At least it's a very good looking reserve to do that. It looked like a female rooster deer, couldn't see any antlers on it. But we haven't had one yet, so we're going to try and take it. As soon as I see it, I'm probably going to shoot it with a 300. So I'm still after my key animal I want, which is a banteng. I really want to get one of those. That's a key objective for Ron. And then another one is to see this running water in action. So, come on rooster deer, where are you? I just seen it a minute ago. A butterfly in front of me. There's supposed to be spiders on here as well, where I haven't seen one of them yet. I know a lot of people don't like spiders. Maybe they're like bush rangers, the scorpion that runs around on the floor. I'm not sure. Are they tarantulas? Who knows? Right, there it is. I can't see any more. I'm just waiting to see if there's a herd of them. Just swap the bow over to the 300. Most deer species do travel in herds, so you should always look around. Just check that there isn't more than one. I can't see any more, so this is soon to be going down. Here we go. It just slowed down perfectly for the shot. So nice clean shot with a 300. Right, let's go over and collect it and have a look at this running water. Like I say, one of the new things added to the game. Never been seen before. Here we go. Yeah, it does look good. Can you cross it? Hopefully it's not that fast that it knocks me down. And it does look very realistic. I do like that. We just need some trout or salmon or something added now. Ron can get his rod in then. I'm looking for a shallow bit because I don't know how the current is. Hopefully it's not that fast that it sweeps you down. Here it goes. Now you can stand in it. So there you go, running water. Nice new addition. Get my canoe in it, fly down the rapids. Right, let's go collect the rooster. As this is our first look at the new reserve, we will be doing more specialised trophy hunts as we learn it. You can't expect the biggest animals straight off the bat. Sometimes you do get them like that in this game. You can get lucky, start off and there is a monster, but most of the time you have to put the effort in and learn the reserves to get the true trophies. Right, here it is. Looks a little like a female red deer, but the fur is slightly different. Nice pose trophy shot. Nice little glaze in the eye. A little bit more furrier than the female red deer, I would say. Butterfly just passes by. That'll do for the trophy shot. Move on, see what we can get. Still after the banteng. I want one of those. If we don't get one this episode, we'll get one soon, because Ron's not going to stop till he get one. Hopefully it's a very big one. We're about halfway to the bridge, which is where I want to get to. It doesn't look that far, but because you're not supposed to run or because of the heat, it's going to take a little longer than normal. I haven't got any tents down yet either. A rooster deer about. In the first few weeks I'll probably be roaming around the reserve before I start putting tents down, because I want to put the tents in the key locations. I find I don't just plonk them down and hope that's good. I often do, like I say, a bit of recce work, try and find out where good areas are and then put my tents there when I know it works in that location. I will share my tent locations once I find good spots. Nice little vine up the tree. Nice little touch. I always do that with my feeders and my tents and stuff. If you want to know any good locations for animals, drop them in the comments and I'll share any locations you need for any animals. Most animals I've got covered in my videos, so if there's a species you want to know about in the game, look through some of my previous videos and you'll probably find what you need to know about the game. A nice ridge over here which overlooks not a meadow but a nice area which is a bit more open near the river. I'd expect something to be here or see it from this location because we've got the height. Maybe a good long shot place. There's some very high hills on my right, also a very high one on my left. I don't know if that's in the reserve. The people who like to do the long shots, they will look for those kind of areas and trying to make the real long shots. Basically you want the height and the length. So you get up as high as possible and shoot down and hope there's an animal there. There's a bit more of an art to it than that, but the actual shot's normally not that hard. It's actually finding the location. We've got some running water running into a lake or river, bigger river, just down the hill. So let's see what we can find down here. So we've got a few rooster deer tracks around here. Let's load the 340 up, just in case we see that banteng we're after. I wonder if there's any collectibles on this map. There is on most maps. Maybe there's something added or they've not been added yet. I'm not sure about that. What would you add on here? I've mentioned before about animal skulls. Maybe a big banteng skull, just bones sitting there decayed. That could be quite interesting. Maybe you could have gold in the river or streams. How you go about that I don't know, but it could maybe fit in. Quite a few things you could do. I do like this like beard coming off the palms. Very realistic. What's that? A rooster deer. There seems to be quite a lot of rooster deer from where we've started. There's two lodges you can start from. There's Cicada Cove, is it? Or is it Cicada Cove? And there's Ruin Gong. We'll give it a call. Hopefully I can get to this, it looks like there's a little ridge or something in front of me by the time that comes up towards me. I think what we'll do is we'll try and get it with a bow this time. As long as it's not a rare or something or massive, we will try and get with a bow. Also it'd be good if we get with a bow because it doesn't make any noise or very little noise, so it won't scare anything in the area. Well, that's the plan anyway. A key thing about playing this game is when you do calls, or if you're not sure of the area, ideally plan where you're going to shoot the animal if you know where it's coming from, because you don't want to get to, I've done this not really very well to illustrate this, but you want to know where the animal's coming from and that you've got a nice clear area to shoot it. Now this could work out quite well because I've got a little bit of a ridge. The animal's going to come to where I am. And hopefully if I beat it to the top of the hill, I should be looking down on it and it should be quite an easy shot. But always try and plan ahead how you want to take the animal, because the shot and not spooking it is probably the key point of the game. The shots are normally quite easy. It's just whether you spook it or not is the main thing. I'm not going to shoot it with a 300, I'm just seeing where it is. We'll swap that over. I've got the snake bite on. It's a female rooster deer. We'll just crawl forward a little bit more. Let's swap it over. Put a snake bite on. Now the snake bite shoots flat 32 meters from my experience, so basically at 32 meters you can just shoot where you want to, flat, and you'll hit it. So pretty simple. Oh, it's just gonna this often happens when you're in the game. Look at that, lines up perfect with a tree. It's like they almost do it on purpose. I swear they do sometimes. No, it's just gonna start moving again. Here we go, and it's down. So that's another objective. We've got one with a bow. I do prefer bow hunting animals in the game. Requires a little bit more skill, a little bit more learning and knowledge than just shooting with the rifles. Most of the rifles are pretty flat unless you're shooting obscene ranges. So no score for it, but we got it with a bow, which is nice. So really enjoyed taking a look at our first hunt on Piccabeen Bay. We've bagged some species that I wanted to have a look at. We haven't got that banteng. That is definitely going to come soon. This is going to be our last animal of the hunt, but I'm going to continue soon. We're going to continue up to the bridge because these files are huge at 4K. That's a great trophy shot. That'll do for the pose. If you want to see something in the next part of this video, drop it in the comments, a different weapon maybe. I'll take a look at that. This has been me, ronMctube. We've been taking a look at Piccabeen Bay. New species, new game mechanics. Really enjoyed it. I've been playing the Hunter Classic. Please subscribe to my YouTube channels. Get ready for that banteng hunt because that's going to probably be next. Hope you enjoyed the video and thanks for watching. Bye bye.